So I've got here a piece of this wagon, and the truth is there isn't much left of this wagon barricade intact. Now this appeared here a couple of weeks ago, and it originally was a locomotive engine that was put here, stationed here as a barricade to prevent the Ukrainian army from accessing the city of Slovyansk, which is some 5 kilometers away. We're in Andreevka at the moment, just outside. So we did have this barricade, we did have the Ukrainian army there, and we also had, this was May the 3rd, that night many locals turned out and they stood down here. I'm going to show you at this stanchion, and they protested the Ukrainian army's being here. So they were shouting, and the Ukrainian army's APCs and multiple soldiers were around, positioned in this verdant piece of pasture that we have outside the city of Slovyansk. And that night of May the 3rd, the situation seemed to escalate, with locals becoming more heated, demanding what the intentions of the Ukrainian soldiers were. There was a picture of a man in an exchange with Ukrainian soldiers, and then that next morning I came and his body was there. It was still there 12 hours after he'd been shot, and we had reports then of multiple fatalities on that night. As with this situation, death figures have been hard to verify. In fact, in certain cases they've been unverifiable. People told me there that there were multiple casualties. We certainly had traces of blood all up that road. The body that I saw was certainly down there, and we did have reports of others. Now the Ukrainian army promptly left that scene, so they took off and withdrew their APCs, and they haven't returned since to mass. But what they have done is launch sporadic attacks on this cavalcade of wagons, fortifying the barricades of the city of Slovyansk. So we've had rockets launched, and in fact when I was here a couple of weeks ago, a little bit after we did some filming here, we had this gaping tear taken out of the wagon. But now, as we can see, in fact if we look around, that the wagon's been absolutely shot to pieces. It's in a state of, we can see, complete destruction. Now we did have members of the local self-defense that were here guarding this, and they still have positions around here, but they are, as we're going to see in a moment, their base has been also totally trashed, totally carved up in gunfire. Now what the Ukrainian army do, in fact I'll show you if we want to look here. In fact, Andre, who's filming now, took some footage of this morning, to credit him. Now that was of this hill up here, with the Ukrainian army positioned, and they were launching rockets. They were launching shells down on this this barricade here, which as we can see now, as many of them hit their mark, because we do have not just this barricade. In fact, we do have scenes of destruction all around here. So no sign of them now. We do have some locals who are about, who are harvesting, who are gathering materials. What they're doing is unclear. Certainly the self-defense, there's not much sign of them. There's always the talk that there are snipers there, but there are people out in the open. And at the moment, in this mid-afternoon, it's again a beautiful sunny day, and it seems calm, but we do have this backdrop of a battleground that's taken place, and that took place in the early hours of the morning. What the next move is going to be of the Ukrainian army, we'll have to see, but it's clear that this barricade is of key interest to them in terms of their plan to, presumably as part of Arsene Avakov's, as he's called it, counter-terrorism operation, mount an attempt to retake the embattled city of Slovyansk. This has been recorded for my YouTube channel. Thanks for being with me. This is Graham. Bye for now.